Yo, Charlotte, what is up, man? We have Tom here. How's it going, Tom? We're covering the expansion draft for Charlotte FC, man. So we're super stoked. So what's going on, buddy? Appreciate your time.
How we doing? Thanks for having me. Sorry that we're at the pinnacle of professionalism here, me doing this from a park in Hoboken, New Jersey. But let's just roll with it. You know, you get what you ask for, you get what you pay for, and that's me.
That's right. We paid you big top dollars, that's for sure, man. So yeah, we'll try to cover all the players. We might have to cut in and out as interviews are going on at the stadium with Zoran and co. Right, so we'll do our best to try not to cut you off. But man, I guess we can just jump straight into it. Right, the first pick was Mackenzie Gaines from Austin, man. So what's your thoughts there?
So I do like Gaines as a player. I thought that he was a really smart signing by Austin last year. A local kid. It was a cool story. He was better than I thought he was going to be in their first team. So I was wrong. I didn't know if he was going to be able to kind of crack it at the MLS level. I thought that he might not really get a chance either, but through circumstances, he was a real spark plug for them. So I was kind of wrong with him at first. And I don't want to sound like I'm pouring cold water on this. I like him as a player, but I like him better on the supplementary roster than I do on the senior roster. And again, that's fine if Charlotte obviously value him higher than me, but you only get 20 senior roster slots. And if he's a guy that hits your cap on the supplementary roster, hits your budget on the supplementary roster, I think that's more value than him as a senior roster. That being said, he can easily be, the 18th, 19th, or 20th guy in the senior roster, and it won't be a problem. It just raises the expectations and raises what they need to get out of him and makes it a little bit more than low risk.
Right. Well, he's Austin born and bred, right? He's from Austin. So.
And he was a big time U.S. Youth International. He seemed like somebody who we all thought was going to go to Europe and excel in Europe. He did. It didn't work for him in the lower tiers in Germany. He came back and he wasn't, handed a shot just because he's from Austin. Like, he earned all that. So it was really cool to watch a guy kind of bounce back from big hype and big thoughts, big expectations. It didn't work out, and he was still able to kind of carve out that lane in MLS and turn the heads of Charlotte here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and yeah, I know we got some friends over at We Are Austin TV and that sort of thing, and they're kind of bummed that he left, but it is what it is at this point, right? He's now going to be a Charlotte player unless there's other trades going on that we don't know about.
The sources have told me that they're keeping him. The two trades that were announced or being announced are the only two. The other three players are staying for now, at least, I guess. But that's the plan.
Right. That's what we're told. Yeah. So second up was Anton Walkes, right? I kind of like this guy, right? Being from Atlanta, I'm a big Spurs fan at heart, anyway. So it gives me somebody to pull for. So what's your thoughts on us picking him up?
I like him. That was in my kind of pre-expansion draft coverage. That was the one omission that I'm mad at myself about, that I thought that, looking back over it after I had like the piece published on who I thought could be taken or should be taken, I was remiss for not picking him. I think that he's smart. I think he comes in at a good budget charge. He's a great locker room guy from everything that anybody said about him in Atlanta. I have not heard a bad word about him. He's a good player. He's somebody who can play right back or center back. The only thing that I wasn't considering is he didn't seem to me somebody that would be in the mold of a Miguel Ramirez type of player. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he quite gets forward well enough to play fullback, and him being center back and a back two, I haven't seen it enough. He's really good as that right-sided center back in a back three, but again, like, that's just an omission by me, and I think that he's going to be a really good pick. I think that he's going to be a very useful squad player and somebody who, before you look at it, he's just, whether he's, penciled in as a starter or not, I think he's going to play a ton of games, and you're going to look back and think like, all right, that was a good pick. That was somebody we didn't have to worry about, and that was somebody who just gave us good value and good minutes for what he is.
Yeah, no, it kind of kickstarts that rivalry a little bit with us too, with Atlanta. Through that city, is what we've been known to say. So we won't make you say it, buddy. So I guess third up was Joseph Mora, right?
Okay, so here's where I'm going to start to be a little critical. For me, I don't see the value in using one of your expansion slots for a player who's out of contract. They could have found another way to acquire Joseph Mora. They did not need to use one of these slots. I think that the most value that comes from the expansion draft is acquiring players who are under contract. Theoretically, we could have a Joe Corona situation again, but I would very much expect the level of preparation that this club has shown in all other transfer dealings that they will have. They know that they'll be able to sign him. But again, you could have risked it and try to get him in either the re-entry draft or free agency. I forget which one he's eligible for, but that's my only flag with this. He's a good player. He's somebody that I think that I was right trying to follow along with their depth chart as they're making signings. I don't think they need to sign another left back because I think he's the starting left back. You don't have to worry about it. Christian Fuchs is somebody who can play a lot as a backup, and then Adam Armour as a third choice. I think that left back is sorted. So again, for me being critical and saying that maybe they shouldn't have used an expansion pick on him. He's still a good player, and if he kind of gets in the starting 11, then nobody will remember that he was out of contract at this time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, that was an interesting pick. We seem to be kind of heavy loaded on that side. So, maybe there's something else in the works that we're not sure of. So on the fourth pick, right, we went with Tristan Blackman from LAFC, right? I believe we've already announced that we traded him. Right?
I reported that before the draft that they were selecting him with the intention of trading him to Vancouver. I believe right before we started, that was officially announced. Somewhere around 500,000 in allocation money, so that's a good deal. I'll start with the positives. That's a good chunk of change. That's useful. That paid for the 2 international slots that they acquired from Nashville, so that's good, and it's good value. He wasn't gone for cheap, unlike Kamal Miller with Austin FC only being traded for 200,000 to Montreal last year, or 225. That being said, I thought that Tristan Blackman was among probably the best the combination of value and talent in this expansion draft. His age, his domestic status, his ability to play right back or center back, his familiarity with a system that, again, Miguel Ramirez's system is going to be unique, but it has core tenets that LAFC had. He's somebody who can defend in space. He's somebody who can be physical. He's somebody who can pass the ball. I think that he's somebody who would have fit really, really well with this team. And I think very highly of Tristan Blackman. And I'm not sure why you don't keep a guy like that.
Yep, for sure. I mean, again, it was just another defender, right? And that seems to be where we're kind of stacked there. So, again, another interesting pick, but like you mentioned, right, we traded him off, got our money back for the international spot, and so and
again, the value is good, so I don't want to sound too overly critical because like it could have been much worse. Particularly, like, again, if they sold him for half what they got for him, like I think that before the expansion draft, if somebody tried to trade for Tristan Thompson, they would have had to pay at least 350, 400, and so to be able to get 500. I think that's fair value, but I'm someone who's really high on his talent.
Right. And we'll hit up with the last one. I'm going to screw this name up big time, but
you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
Ismael Tajouri-Shradi. He's NYFC. I figured that Charlotte were going to take somebody from the NYCFC bunch. They just had too many players that were good players that could be selected here. And Tajouri-Shradi, I was thinking maybe it was going to be Malte Amundsen, but again, they went with Joseph Moore as left back rather than him. So I think ITS is a good pick. I think that he might have been, for NYCFC fans, would probably call him a little inconsistent and a little frustrating at times. He's a good talent. And again, I think that they got good value for the trade for him. And I don't feel as strongly about him as I do Blackman. So, I could have seen him lining up for Charlotte if they had chosen to keep him, but they've already traded him to LAFC.
Yeah. So out of the 5, who do you think's the better pick? I know they kind of play different positions, right? And that's kind of maybe an odd question to ask, right? Because it's hard to kind of compare them. Maybe I should ask you this question instead. Like, who was somebody that you think we should have picked that we didn't get?
Again, not to do recency bias or just because it's at the top of my head. I think they should have kept Tristan Blackman. But Diego Rubio might have been another good shout, but I think he hit the budget around the max budget charge, and teams don't typically use expansion slots on players who make the max charge. And I think that their international scouting is going to bring most of those forwards, but I would have liked Diego Rubio. I think a lot of teams kind of saw the value in him or saw why he would have been a good option. But again, I get why they didn't with the budget charge. So yeah, I think Tristan Blackman was the one that really jumped off the page to me when I was doing this prep and looking around, and even for my jokes about why don't they take Diego Rossi and try to steal that 10 million transfer fee that Fenerbahce is going to give them.
We're going to go live real quick. It looks like Mars is talking. Let's see what he has to say real quick. Yep.
Teamwork. With all these players, of course, you look at having the opportunity to select 5 and go instead and take 3, have an opportunity to make some big gains in terms of 875,000 GAM. What was appealing about making those moves with the final 2 trades?
Finally, the expansion club has a lot of difficulties. A lot. You can't believe it. In terms of budget and in terms of regulations. So it's super tough. So this is the first point that we need to have in consideration. And it's something that everybody had told me during this period. I mean, MLS coaches and people from other clubs say, you will suffer a lot as expansion club because there are too many rules and budget and everything. So it's tough to build a roster. It's not that we can pick whoever we want, and no, it's not like that. And is very tight. So the first point that we need to consider is a great job by the club to get this amount of money that is record. I mean, it's for the first time in the history of the expansion draft. So it's something that I would like to to point. And for the players, we took the players that we believe that they can fit in the game model, and also players that want to come. I want to be here. We didn't want players that don't want to commit, don't want to come, don't want to be engaged with this project. So the 3 players that are coming, they really want to come. They are excited to come, and I'm excited to work with them. So for me, it's a very good deal.
Miguel, how does the 875,000 make tomorrow and successive days in player acquisition easier for you?
So at least it's now an issue of flexibility. For the people that we have already, because for the salaries, now we can adjust and go for other targets that we have in our mind. So now we are in a more flexible scenario. For the domestic market, for sure, but also for the international market, because the international market for some salaries, so from one fee you have to spend GAM money, so affects to the domestic market and the international market. So now we are in a much better position than we were before. It's a long way to go, and I'm not telling you the way to the first day of the preseason that of course I would like to, or the first game. We are happy to hire the best players maybe in summer, because we have a better window and we have a better opportunity, and we are not in a rush now. This is a long project, and we will have for sure a competitive squad to start the league, but we are open to hire players during the season, giving the feedback from the competition, which needs we have. So it's a complex situation and a long journey. So yeah.
You talked about building the spine of the team first. How did tonight's selections fit into that?
So basically with Works and with Joseph Mora, we are trying to not finalize, because we will have someone else over there in this back 4. But we needed to close with MLS experience, and more than MLS experience is MLS experience fitting this game model. And Works is so good for that. He's super fast player, super fast defender. So if we want to be far from our goal and we need to cover these spaces, we need fast players, fast defenders. And Mora is a fullback that fit the needs that the fullback has in my game model. So this is about the back 4. And Mackenzie is a great opportunity for us. It's not regarding the spine, it's out of the spine, but I attend the first game that I came to the MLS on live, Austin, at home, and I saw him, and I got crazy with this player. He's the fastest player in the league, with an amazing conditions. He's not center forward, in my opinion. He was playing as a center forward in Austin. For me, he's a winger, pure winger. So, and I remember with Independiente del Valle, we won the Sudamericana Cup with super fast wingers, and we killed the opponents at the wings. So it was an unbelievable chance for us to have this profile of wingers, super fast.
All right, just one more.
Una en español, Miguel, por lo que contaba recién, bueno, desde afuera.
Am I back? Am I back? I can't hear you, if so. Classic. It says you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. There we go.
All right.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, now we can hear you. That's it. This is what happens live, right? So,
We're having fun. Don't worry.
yeah, that's it. I was muted. It wasn't you. So, yeah, man. So, any final words before you go off and start writing your articles and finishing up your game that
No,
you're so?
go play soccer. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that it was candid by Miguel to say that he sees Gaines as a winger, and kind of what he was saying about Gaines, when he kind of was like, oh my God, like this player's electric. Like I want this player. I thought that's pretty strong. And again, like it doesn't matter the order in reality because they're the only team picking whether you're first or fifth. But I think that there's something to the fact that they made his selection first rather than Mora or Walks or the two players they traded. So I don't know. I'm more excited now for Gaines than I was when 15 minutes ago when we started this live. So I'm curious to see what Miguel Ramirez can get out of him.
Right on. Yeah, man. So, well, Tom, we appreciate it, buddy. I really do. And maybe we'll get you on for a little longer next time, and we can chat more in depth about all this.
Yeah, man. I owe you one for the next time. I won't be standing outside in the cold holding my phone up. It'll look a little better. It won't look much better because it's me, but it'll be a little bit of an improvement.
That's right. All right, bud. We'll see you, man. Take care.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. So, guys out there, I guess I'm kind of just talking to myself now. I'm going to try to see if we can get JT with some fan reactions out there. So, what do you guys think? Anybody want to chime in? I'm expecting to think, that I'm going to hear somebody talking back, but no, I'm not. It's just me here. So, hold on one second. We're just chatting here. I think we had a pretty good expansion draft too. Interesting that we traded off Blackman real quick. At least we got the money back for him. That was pretty good, I guess, in regards to canceling out the money we spent for the Nashville trade earlier on. So that was good. Also, let's see what you guys have been talking about out there. So I guess it sounds like you guys had some issues with the WSSC app, huh? Out there in Greensboro or in the Triad area at least. So it'll be interesting to see if they figure that out and what they're going to do there as well. And yes, GAM is complicated. You almost need a PhD, right, to understand the way that the MLS works for sure. It's a mess. It's a mess. So let's see what else you guys are saying out here. We're saying we had a good draft. Yep. Larry H, what's up, buddy? Appreciate your kind words the other day. Everybody likes Big Gam, and we cannot lie, right? That's what we're gonna go with. So that's pretty funny. And it looks like they covered it on the MLS page live on YouTube. So I guess that was probably the better way to watch it, I would imagine. I think the club was streaming it too, if I'm not mistaken. So, And so everybody's saying the MLS YouTube channel was a lot better, but it will be interesting to see what happens come game day, right? Away games and that sort of thing. And, if we can actually see a decent game outside. I talked to the wall pretending to. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm used to banter back and forth. It's kind of hard to kind of just keep the conversation going by myself. We could maybe try to do a call in. I was trying to get this to work earlier. Let's see if I can get this to work. Or maybe some of you guys can call in. I know somebody wants to call in. Give me 1 second and we'll see what happens. And with that being said, I'm trying to get JT to see what's going on out there at the stadium itself, but there's a possibility that they might have got kicked out of the stadium because you know how rowdy and everything they get. Oh, is that right, William? William is saying that the MLS page used a WSOC feed, so that's kind of interesting, right? So if that's indeed the case, I don't know what's up with the WSOC TV app. So anyways, I'm trying to get JT to get us some fan interviews out there, but apparently he's not responding to text. Let's just go live and hit it raw.
We got South Butter Crowd here.
South Butter Crowd.
You're in the show. You're live right now.
What's up?
Great show.
South Butter Crowd. Let's go. So how'd y'all feel about the picks?
Over the moon.
Over the moon, nice.
Over the moon. Yeah. The best part about this is walk. The Atlanta United fans are so in their feelings. So mad. Oh, they're so upset.
About the Tottenham guy.
No.
Yeah, the Tottenham guy. Yeah. He is one of our own.
And Heidi got picked to do one of the picks. You got picked to do a pick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. No big deal.
4
No
is a lucky
autographs,
number.
please.
That's
No
great.
autographs.
That's great.
I'm really excited to watch Gam is
Gam?
Yeah.
Your Gam?
No, Gam general allocation money.
Oh,
That's
yes.
what we got.
We got 2 of those guys. We got
Oh.
3 Gams.
It's game.
My
money
pick got
coming in.
traded. My pick got traded already. So there's that.
I do have some inside scoop for you. Nick Kelly just walked by. He wanted to let us know that the general allocation money is actually going directly to the supporters section. Free beer for everyone. That's
What?
You heard
Yeah,
it
you heard it here first, folks.
Oh,
Free
shit. That's
beer
an
for everyone.
exclusive.
There he is.
That's an exclusive.
Ask him.
Oh, there he goes. There he is. Walking away. He's walking away. Damn it. We'll get him next time.
Verified by absolutely no one, but you heard it here first. And also, Heidi read a pick, so she knows people. She's also confirmed free beer for the entire stadium, I think, actually.
Free beer.
What if
Free.
you don't drink beer?
You can have a
Can I have a seltzer?
soda pop.
All right, this is going south. I'm going to find some other people, Lee.
That's probably a good
Oh,
idea.
no. Did you hear I said it was going south?
Wait.
Tons all day. Yeah, come on.
Good stuff, guys. Love it. All
Thank
right,
you.
we're gonna mute JT while he walks around. I am really trying to get this so you guys can call in too. So it's a bit of a mess right here. Let's see what Jico has to say.
TFC, baby!
How y'all feel about the picks?
Man, we're gonna look good, man. We're gonna look good.
I can't
DC
wait.
better wait for it, man. They don't know what's coming to them.
What
They
about
don't know what's coming.
pulling the guy from Atlanta?
Man, it doesn't matter who we get. Charlotte FC is gonna whoop some ass.
That's right.
All right?
You heard it.
I know. We are gonna whoop some.
That's right.
2 cheers in the bucket.
You know what I mean? Look,
Hey!
all right, we're playing against DC, the one that has the second most championships, and then you got LA coming in here to our turf. Please, Chicharito, I love you, dog, but you ain't gonna do shit here. We're gonna take you down, bro. We're gonna take you
Exclusive.
down.
That's what we call an exclusive.
All right?
That's right.
Y'all remember this. We're gonna whoop you, boy.
Nice.
Good stuff, JT. I appreciate you, man. See what else we got. See if anybody else shows up.
I'm just walking around trying to find somebody.
We'll mute that mess for a second. Let me see if I can get this to work. You might hear a bunch of dialing, but we'll figure it out here. 1 second.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your 6-digit PIN number.
Just missed me.
Before the fans.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
That's the vault. I believe they're at the vault right now. So, I know that Brian out there.
Top Ben.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What are you feeling about it, Top Ben?
Today was awesome. I mean, the 3 players that we've got, solid players. We got up to 875,000 in GAM. I mean, I feel like the club knows what they're doing. We've got some good people. I just heard some really good news in the press conference from Zorn as well. He said they're finalizing 2 to 3 international players to get them from that international slot to green cards. So that's potentially more international players we could sign. I think Zorn said it about 9 to 12 months ago, where expect a pool of international players here in Charlotte, and it looks like we will.
Nice. How excited are you right now?
I'm hyped. I'm super excited.
How long has it been, man? I mean,
Years.
Literally years. It's been basically
Bro.
2, but still years.
Started before COVID.
Started before COVID. Pre-COVID,
Are we
we were
live?
trying to do this. Yeah, we're live right now.
Cool.
Yeah, we're live, man.
Usually when I put a camera / phone in someone's face that long, we live.
Awesome. You want to grab anybody? Or no?
Yeah, well, I grabbed somebody.
Okay.
And then, hey, John Potter.
Oh Lord.
Oh, no, of course you gotta do it. Yeah, Potter said he ain't doing nothing.
All right, man.
No, we're doing it right now.
Keep it out of my face. Okay.
Oh damn. I guess Pat had enough and beat JT up and stole his phone or something. So yeah, if you guys want to call in and chat about this too, right? It's I believe it's 704-703-9448. That would be the number to call. 704-703-9448. Anyways, we'll wait for JT and them to get back and see what's going on there. But yeah, Peter with a smackdown. He sure did. We lost Tally, man. That's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible, man. We're gonna have to have a word with Patty next time. But yeah, if you guys want to call in, hold on, let's see if this works. We've got somebody calling in. Let's see if this works. Hey, can you hear us, caller?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? State your name.
What's going on?
All right.
Byron Ryan.
Byron Ryan, what's going on, Byron Ryan?
Nothing much. Just saw y'all could have had a better expansion draft as far as maybe PR wise, maybe a butts and seats player, maybe another, say, I don't want to say leader, but somebody that's kind of got a little bit more international experience that can bring up like the younger guys. But I understand the picks that you made.
Right.
Gaines, when he said he was going to play Gaines, I guess he said like out and wide.
Yep.
I still don't see anybody that you have that's going to be that point guy, that full out striker.
Right.
That's going to go out and get the goals. The guy that I really wanted for y'all, because obviously I'm a Bayern Munich fan and yes, an Atlanta fan.
Hold on, Atlanta fan? How did we
back.
get an Atlanta fan to be the first one to call in on the show, folks? Yo, come on, Charlotte. What the hell?
Oh well, y'all get over it. But the thing is I'm a Bayern Munich fan. I'm not a big MLS super supporter of MLS. But the thing is car wreck, cancer, all that kind of stuff. My friends in Atlanta embraced me into that family, so I can't turn my back.
Yeah,
on
fair
that
enough, man. Fair enough.
But the guy that I would have loved to have seen Charlotte get was Diego Rossi. But the rumblings with Rossi is because he's on loan already at Fenerbahce in January. It's already pretty much a done deal that he's going to be sold to Fenerbahce. So there was no sense in picking him. But that obviously was heads and shoulders above anyone else, the best player, attacking player for me to go in. But a guy like maybe a Blaise Matuidi,
right?
Yes, he's on the older side. He fits in well at maybe a 6. But the thing is when you sign a Blaise Matuidi type player or a Diego Valeri that was available through Portland, but with a Valeri, you don't want to take Portland's all-time greatest player. That's kind of a dick move. You don't want to be that guy. But with a Blaise Matuidi, he brings in that international experience. He can teach young guys, but without me knowing a lot about Blaise Matuidi, I don't know if he's like a Bastian Schweinsteiger going to Chicago, where he's going to bring that international experience and teach the younger guys and help you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be that veteran guy in the locker room like you have with a Christian Fuchs.
Right.
But for me, the best pick that you got and you actually kept is the Anton Walkes. The Spurs thing, everybody's like, oh, he's a Spurs guy. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we do. We're
He never
Spurs
went
fans. I'm a
back
Spurs fan,
He
man.
never-
That gives him.
Okay. Whenever you beat us by a football score, then I'll.
Oh, well, you're talking about Bayern,
But-
right? Yeah, but we're talking about when he scores on Atlanta and we beat Atlanta.
We scored the first touchdown in that new fancy Spurs stadium. But anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is Anton was never really a factor there. he had a couple of minutes here or there, but he was never really a factor at Spurs. When he came to Atlanta is where he made a solid name for himself. And Darren Eales down in Atlanta knew him from Spurs to start with. And then the loan ended from Spurs. They sold him to another squad in England, and he did really well.
Right.
But the kid can play anywhere on the back line. Atlanta played him as a center back. They played him as a left back and played him as a right back. And did have a few goals, won a man of the match, I believe once or twice. So, I mean, he's a guy that's going to be a solid defender. For me, I'd put him beside Christian Fuchs at center back.
Right.
And that just depends on where you're going to play Jalen Lindsey.
Yeah, I
do you
figured
play
he
him
probably
as
he'd
an
be a-
out wide defender,
Yeah.
or do you play him as a wing back or a wing? But the guy that I was really upset that y'all didn't take is Kamar Lawrence. He's a really good defender, solid defender. It doesn't cost that much. Jamaican international, so you know what I'm saying. You're going to get the international type support for him. That was one guy that I was kind of hoping y'all were going to get, because that's a solid defender.
Right.
And then a guy that has, or a couple of guys that have a connection to the Charlotte area, have played for the Charlotte Independents before. Marlon Hairston. With him, it's you could have had a decent kind of wing back type player, but with the add of Jalen Lindsey, you don't really need him. For me, if you're going to play Gaines out wide, I would have taken one of those other picks instead of getting allocation money, which you have a lot of as an expansion team to begin with.
Yeah, we gave some up though, because
I
we had
would've gotten
traded with Nashville for 2 international spots. So we essentially just paid that off, right? And so yeah.
Yeah, essentially that's what you did. But the thing is if you look at how many international spots you have, depending on, now that's when
Hey,
like
once-
when somebody said that the GAM is complicated, international spots is what's complicated.
Yep.
Did you get them as a 1-year international spot, or did you buy multiple year international spots from the club that you bought them from? Because if you only bought them for a 1-year spot, for 1 year you're going to have a good amount of international players, and then all of a sudden it's going to slam into you that you got to cut from 8 or 9 to 4 or maybe 5 or 2, or you know what I'm saying, however that goes. So I can understand that, but I would have went with a Dominique Badji.
Okay.
Badji played really well for a few seasons with Colorado. He's got that connection to the independent, so he's played here. But the biggest issue with a lot of those players is really Anton's the only one that really knows what it's like to play in the South in the summertime.
Right.
That's a shock to a lot of players' system, and you'll hear it during like International Champions Cup about coming in and playing in April or middle, you know what I'm saying, middle of the summer, that type of stuff. And guys are dropping like flies because it's 99 outside, 100% humidity, and guys aren't ready to play in that.
Right.
So with a Badji, you would have had Gaines out wide and Badji towards the middle. Gaines would have taken the spot I would have originally wanted for like a Diego Rossi to set up your goals. And then on the other side, you would have a Jalen Lindsey,
Yeah.
who's a really talented, fast, I don't want to call him a Serge Gnabry type player, but he is.
Yeah.
He can score, he can set up, but he's more of a setup man than I don't see him being a goal scoring phenom.
Mm-hmm.
I see him more as the setup guy.
All right, man.
But
Well-
I mean, off the list that you had, which one did they not call that you wanted?
I don't
you had
know.
to have a few that you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking around, right? I mean, I wasn't expecting Gaines for sure. There was a couple in there, and then the Blackman was one that I wouldn't mind keeping, but obviously, again, that goes back to the trade for the GAM. So, overall, I think I'm pleased. I feel like it was some safe picks, some good picks. But that's it, man. So, well, we appreciate your time, buddy. And you know how to find us. You guys need to hit the sub button for us if you don't mind as well. And
Oh yeah.
so what we're gonna do now is, I guess, unless you guys have any other questions, it looks like they've been kicked out of the stadium or getting escorted out of the stadium. So, folks, man, we appreciate you joining us. And next time we'll have the whole crew on, and maybe we can go further into this. But other than that, we're just gonna shut it down. And you guys have a good evening. Take care.